What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So the bill passed the House and will now go to the Senate. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to take a look at the payment schedule for June. And then I have a really good clip to show you guys. Make sure you watch the end of this video because this is about Social Security and this is about the speaker actually coming out and saying, look, this is what we're going after next. And he's going after Medicare and Social Security. And he says this out loud, and I will show you. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And just a reminder, if you're not getting notifications, let me know in the comments below. And also follow me on Twitter at the TEC Show Live. Okay, so let's first look at the numbers when it came to the vote yesterday. Now, what I find really interesting is this was a Republican bill. So the initial bill that was passed in the House, Republican bill, you had 217 Republicans support that bill. Okay. Now we know what happened. It went to, they started negotiating with the White House. And after the negotiations, look at what happened to this bill when it came to Republican support. Okay. You now had 149 Republicans supported this bill. 71 Republicans said no. They were opposed to the bill. When you look at the Democrats, 165 Democrats supported this bill. Now, not one single Democrat supported the bill prior to the negotiations. So you had 217 Republicans prior to the negotiations, 217 Republicans voted for it. You didn't have any Democrats vote for it. And then when it came to Democrats, you had 46 Democrats that voted against it. Okay, so we heard a lot of talk about this 71 Republicans that were not going to vote for this bill. Now, the bill got 314 votes, so that's good. So it moves to the next step. All they needed were, they only needed 218, okay? So you had 117 lawmakers that voted against this bill. And so now this bill will go to the Senate, and so we're going to start hearing more about how the senators feel about this bill. Senator Bernie Sanders has come out and said that he is not for this bill, so he will be a no. And so we'll have to see if we have more politicians coming out. Lindsey Graham has come out and said that he is going to try to slow this bill down. Rand Paul has also come out and said that he wants to slow the bill down. So we'll have to see what happens in the Senate. But obviously, we only have this week. They have to get this done this week. If they have to work into the weekend, they're going to have to work into the weekend in order to pass this. But you could see some slowing down. You could see some amendments come out, and those amendments will slow the whole process up. Okay, I want to take a look at the calendar now so we can look at the payment schedule for June, okay? Now, I like to go over this every month. At least I'm going to start doing that from now on because you guys seem to like to know when the checks are going out. Even though you kind of know your schedule, it's good to see what dates it falls on and everything. And if there are any adjustments, like we have an adjustment here. We also have 2 checks going out for SSI. Okay, so June 1st today, we have SSI checks going out. And then we have the checks going out on the 2nd for people receiving Social Security, people who started receiving Social Security prior to 1997. And then you have the regular schedule on Wednesday. Okay, so depending on your birthday, between the 1st and the 10th, that will go out on the 14th. And if your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, that's on the 21st. And then if your birthday falls between the 21st and the 31st, it will go out on the 28th. Now, we have an extra check going out on the 30th. Okay, now I say an extra check. I shouldn't even say that. You have another check going out in June on the 30th. You will not receive it, and this is for SSI. You will not receive another check in July. So this is the only check that you're going to see, and it just happens to fall on the 30th because of Saturday. Okay, they don't send out checks on Saturday. So just letting you guys know what the calendar looks like. Now, I want to go to this clip, and I'm telling you, this is the sad part about this whole thing. And let me first start this way. When it comes to the reason why I'm out there and I'm talking about Social Security increases, Social Security reform, I'm giving you guys all this information. There are people that will, in the comments, they'll let me know and they'll say, well, it hasn't happened yet, or it'll never happen, or why are you talking about it if the politicians are just talking about it? I'm trying to give you the information so you can make a good decision when it comes to who you vote for in the future, as well as you can contact these politicians and say, look, I heard about this Social Security 2100 Act. I think it's good. Why don't you support that if they don't support it? Or if they do support it, they'll let you know that they support it. But at least you'll have the information that you need, because there are two things most politicians, I won't say all politicians, because you have some politicians that come in and they really want to make change. And then you have some other politicians that might come in and they might be influenced by certain things. There are two things that will influence a politician. One is money, and the other is votes. If they know that you're going to vote for them, they're going to try to help you. If they know that you're not going to vote for them, then guess what? They're going to try to do whatever they can in order to get your vote. And so that's why I put this information out there, so you guys can know, so you guys can be informed when it comes to who you want in office. And like I was talking about when I was talking about Representative Larson and the Social Security 2100 Act and Senator Bernie Sanders, the $2,400 raise for Social Security, they have sponsored these bills. They want to get more politicians that are interested in these bills so they can pass the bills. And so the only way that will happen is if the average person knows, the average person receiving Social Security, they know what politicians are the politicians that are supporting Social Security, and they know the politicians that aren't supporting Social Security. And it's important to focus on those politicians that aren't supporting Social Security and get them out of there. So let me show you this clip, and then we're going to talk about it. I'm probably going to break it. I'll play the whole clip for you guys first, and then I'm probably going to break it up and talk a little bit about each section. It's very quick. But I have a lot to say about what he's saying. Okay, so let me set the stage first. So this is yesterday. This is when they were talking about the whole debt ceiling. There's going to be the vote today and all that. And now Speaker McCarthy wants to move forward. So this is what's next. And remember, I was telling you guys this for the last 2 weeks. Social Security will be discussed next. I told you guys that, okay? Now, you have some politicians that are coming out, like Representative Larson, saying, look, this is what we want to do. We want to expand Social Security. You have other politicians that are coming out right now, and they're saying they want to cut Social Security and Medicare. Let me play this clip. Here we go.
I was elected to help lead this nation. So the first thing we did, open the House up. The bills, you now get to see them before you ever vote on them. And now we're cutting. And you know what? I'm going to make some people uncomfortable by doing that. But I'm not going to give up on the American people. And this isn't the end. This doesn't solve all the problems. This is the first step. I'm going to announce a commission coming forward from the Speaker, from bipartisan on both sides of the aisle. We only got to look at 11% of the budget to find these cuts. We have to look at the entire budget. The Congress has done this before.
Why didn't you see the whole budget?
Because the president walled off all the others. The majority driver of the budget is mandatory spending. It's Medicare, Social Security, interest on the debt. So you only have 11% to look at this budget. But we were able to increase our defense to protect us, take care of our veterans. But you know that non-defense with veterans out, we are now going to spend less than we spent in 2022. That's a major victory.
Okay, Speaker McCarthy saying there, mandatory spending. That is the next thing that they want to address. They were only able to cut from 11% of the budget. So now they want to get into the mandatory spending. Mandatory spending, Social Security, Medicare, some of the larger programs. And so we knew this was going to happen. And we knew when the State of the Union, when President Biden was out there talking about cuts to Social Security, they want to cut Social Security and Medicare, and you had all these politicians. Speaker McCarthy was one of them, saying, I don't know anyone that wants to cut Social Security and Medicare. What is he talking about? We don't want to cut Social Security and Medicare. He just said it. And that was just yesterday that he said this. He clearly said, look, mandatory spending, that's what's on the chopping block next. That's what we're going to be looking forward to having discussions about. So he's going to set this commission up, and he said it's going to be a bipartisan commission, so you have Democrats and Republicans in there. But it will you'll probably have more Republicans than Democrats, just so if they want to move something out of a commission, they have the votes. But the sad part about this situation is just a month ago, he was saying we would never cut Social Security and Medicare. We want to strengthen the program. You hear him keep saying strengthen the program, strengthen the program. Now he's talking about, you know what's on the chopping block next? Social Security and Medicare. And I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm telling you, this is what politicians are talking about. This is what the Speaker of the House is talking about. He has the power to put any bill that he wants on the floor. And guess what? The next focus is going to be Social Security. And that's why it's important to know what's going on. Make sure you subscribe, hit the little bell notification. I talk about Social Security a lot. I talk about the Social Security increase. I let you know the different politicians who were in favor of an increase for Social Security, because not all of them are. Obviously, Speaker McCarthy is not in favor of any type of an increase for Social Security, and he doesn't want Social Security to remain the way it is now. He wants to actually dig into Social Security, dig into some of the mandatory spending. So this is something we have to pay attention to. If you guys have questions, let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.